Hi there everyone! I have these two beautiful cards to show you today. I'm going to teach you how to create the pop-up mechanism on the inside, but you can decorate it however you want. These are just two ideas for inspiration, and I'll show you how I made them happen. They came from the same idea, but they're two slightly different designs. For the main structure of the card, you're going to need two panels, two card bases. They're cut on the longer side of your cardstock. For the inner mechanism, I like to use a lighter cardstock, usually 80 pounds should be okay. And for the outer cardstock, I usually like to use more heavyweight. I also have here a smaller panel that I'm going to use at the front. To start, you want the heavier weight cardstock that you're going to use as a card base, and you're just going to fold it in half like you would a regular card base. I'm going to put that one to the side, and we're going to work on our inner mechanism now. That one should be the lighter cardstock, and you are going to score and fold at 2 and 4 inches or 2.5 and 5 centimeters. Then we're gonna fold it accordion style, and the bigger piece that has no scoring lines, we're gonna fold that in half, and also accordion style. So if you fold the first fold in one direction, you will fold the second fold in the opposite direction. You can see that I'm gonna fold it kind of wrong here, and I'm just gonna fold it the other way, and it's gonna work well, no problem. So if you make a mistake, do it just like me. I am explaining this to you in a way that I think makes sense. Those 2 inches for the first two folds, you can make them smaller or bigger, but that's gonna alter the size of whatever you have afterwards. I wanted the section that's kind of in the center, that's gonna be my window, and I wanted it to be a good size, and I also want a good size for the space on the right where I'm gonna leave for the person to write their personal message. And that's why I made those other first two folds not that big and not that small, but you could alter them if you want to, as long as you fold the other two halfway should be okay, and you can give yourself more or less room. Just make sure that it fits inside of your card once you glue it down. As you can see on the screen, you can choose whatever shape of die that you want to cut out that window. You could use a craft knife and cut just a square or a rectangle out yourself. I am choosing this one because all the other ones were going to give me very slim borders. That border would actually make no difference in this case for me because I'm gonna glue some layers at the center, like inside on the back of this cardstock, and that's gonna reinforce it anyways, but I was afraid of having too slim of a border and it not working later. The other reason I would like you to understand how I got to these measurements for the inner mechanism is that if you wish to adapt this to a 6x12 card, like that you start with a 6x12 piece, or a 5x7 landscape orientation, or if you want to do a slimline card, you can probably still use these measurements and adapt the foldings to work on a different size card. Your card structure is ready at this point, and everything I'm gonna add from now on is optional. It's just decoration, and you can decorate it however you want. So I'm gonna fly through this because I didn't want the video to be 40 minutes long. I am going to just talk you through it briefly, but that's not really my goal and the main point of this video. I hope that's okay. If you have any questions, please let me know, or you can also slow down the video to see things in more detail. I am currently using a very light blue vellum piece to die cut some cloud borders, and I'm gonna add them with dry adhesive on the back of my die cut window. And then I'm gonna use some iridescent vellum, and I'm gonna die cut bigger borders and glue on the back of these ones. There are specific dies that you can actually do this. I'm gonna try to list them on the information box. I'm also gonna list these ones. These ones I'm using are from Hero Arts. You can see that they don't die cut the full border, the full oval shape that I'm trying to cover, but I made them work for me. But I believe there are better die sets, and I'm gonna suggest all of them to you. There's a collection from Spellbinders that you could use that would probably look absolutely gorgeous. You could also transform this into a tunnel card, an inner tunnel card, and it would look just stunning. You just need to kind of figure out. I am not showing you how to do those, but it's very easy once you understand how it's done, and you could do it yourself. I am adding everything without dimension because I know myself, and I knew this was going to be a very dense card. Now I'm just adding some narrow strips of gold cardstock, metallic gold, to both sides of my window, right on the edge. Make sure when you do this, if you do this, that you fold the card and there's nothing sticking out past the fold. And then you can, once it dries, you can cut off the excess. Sorry, there I go a bit of camera here. At this point, you can add anything that you want to the back of your mechanism or the inside of your card base, because once you glue the mechanism down, it makes it way harder to add anything. Because I'm not gonna add anything more, I'm gonna glue this down. I'm gonna add a butterfly to the inside of my card base in a minute, but I'm gonna realize that I actually need the window to be stuck in place so I know where to put it exactly. I am also adding some dry adhesive. The reason I'm using dry adhesive or the clear glue in my card for everything that I'm doing today is because I'm using lighter weight cardstock and I don't want it to warp. If I use liquid white glue, it will warp that lighter card base. So I'm either using dry adhesive or clear glue in everything. I am going to use my reverse tweezers to place the butterfly where I want it to be seen once the card is open. That's why I needed the window in place. And then I'm going to go to town. I'm going to add a few more butterflies to the inside. I'll show you in the end how this card actually looks, because I added tiny, tiny butterflies all around in a sentiment on the inside on the very smaller tab on the left. I am just adding a beautiful sentiment to that smaller panel that I cut, and I'm gonna add a bit of foam, even though it's a chunky card already, and I'm gonna add that to the front. The front I want it to be very simple. I'm gonna add some butterflies to the front as well. This white panel, the bigger one, is the space for my personal message, and this little one, I'm gonna add an extra sentiment on the inside. This is what I usually do. I get the stamp set, I hover it over the piece that I want, and then I can see which ones fit best. These two cards today use a lot of cardstock, and the second one is very invested, but they are very fun. They look gorgeous. You could save a lot of time by stamping instead of die cutting like I did, and you could keep it simple and it would still look very, very unique because of this window on the inside. And this window doesn't have a fold on it. So I find it that particularly interesting. For the second one, we will have a fold in the middle of the window. This one is even easier to create, the pop-up mechanism, and I am taking advantage of the central fold to use a spinning element. We're going to start just like the other one with two card bases cut on the longer side. The inner one is lighter weight, the outer one is more heavy weight. For both of them, I chose the darker color for the outside and the lighter color for the inside. We're just going to fold this one in half, put it to the side, and then we're going to fold the inside the pop-up mechanism. What you need to know, how you need to do this, is measure the length of your longer side, the longest side that you have, divided by 3, and that's where you're gonna score. So let's say it's 12 inches divided by 3, it's gonna be 4. You're gonna score at 4 inches on one side, turn it around, and score at 4 inches on the other side. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's not what I did. I miscalculated this and I folded it wrong and it worked anyways. So it's good for you to see my mistake, but don't do what I did. And knowing how to calculate, you can also adapt it to any sizes that you need. I actually scored mine, I think it was like 3 inches and 1/8 from each side. It was something like that. Once you have those two folds, you just need to fold the center space in half. You can, like, I started measuring it and whatnot, but the easiest way is to try to put those two lines that you formed when you scored, to put those two lines together and just score there. Because it's lighter weight, it's very easy for you to fold with your bone folder. If it was the heavier weight cardstock, maybe it wouldn't look that great, but with the lighter weight, it's very simple. Here's how it's gonna look, and you just need to die cut a shape from that center so you have a window. And again, you can decorate, the card will be ready from here. You can decorate it however you want, however you prefer. I am just making some friendship cards for some lovely friends of mine. I am hoping to send them probably next month, if I'm being honest. The way that things are right now, everything's kind of upside down at the moment. And then I chose, for this one, I chose a circle frame, and I chose the circle frame that is one size bigger than that, so I can die cut a frame later. But I'm just gonna run this through my die cutting machine, then I'm gonna stick those two frames together, those two die cuts together, so I can run it through my die cutting machine with some mirror gold cardstock and get that thin frame that I'm gonna put around my aperture later. I am also cutting another panel. This one has so much cardstock, folks, but it looks nice. I am cutting this extra panel, folding it in the center, it is slightly smaller than the center section where my die cut window is. I want this to reinforce that window, but also because that's where I'm going to attach my spinning element. If you're not going to use a spinning element, you don't need that piece, you don't need it at all. So I am adding those two thin strips, gold strips to the sides, the two panels, one on each side of my window. And this is how I'm going to assemble my spinning element. So you can use a butterfly, a circle, a heart, a star, almost anything in there as long as it's small and it fits. So I measured by putting it inside of the window and seeing if it does. I did off camera add a little bit of dry adhesive above the window where the fold is and below it where the fold is. Now I'm going to add a bit of dry adhesive to my spinning element. So I die cut two circles. I chose the two circles. I actually die cut everything else I showed you where I thought the circles would work better. I am adding a bit of dry adhesive on the inside to hold my string. You could use any kind of string, but because I'm using the clear one, I am taking the extra measure of not using liquid adhesive. I am very impatient. I think you have to wait hours for it to dry fully before you can actually use it. And I have no patience, so I am using dry adhesive. That's the one I recommend. I did try to use liquid adhesive. It didn't work, probably because I'm impatient. And you shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. You should have stamped your sentiments first on those circles, just so they don't get messed up later. But I forgot, and you see me doing it later, and again, it's gonna work. It was a mistake, but it worked anyways. I am adding clear glue on the sides where I didn't put the dry adhesive, just to make sure that everything will be attached together all the way through in a uniform manner. Now I know you probably can't see this string at all. I do apologize for that, but I really wanted to use the clear one. I'm just going to press it down. The adhesive should hold it for a few seconds. Then line up the other circle and sandwich the string in between the two die cut circles. I'm using the same stamp set as before. I like this one because it has the sentiments are in different orientations, different sizes, different shapes, and that gives me a lot of options. I'm choosing two of those sentiments to stamp on each side of my spinning element. I'm gonna add another sentiment to the left of my window, all from the stamp, and the previous card was also from this stamp set. As I said, if I were someone who focused on stamping, my cards would be like way quicker to make, so don't do what I do. But I really love the dimension of the die cut elements. I don't know what it is, and I like to glue them up and build up a scene and things like that. These two cards, folks, came from the idea. I've done these cards before. I'm gonna link my playlist if you want to watch more. I made them like in a portrait orientation, and this time I thought I'm gonna make it landscape, but I'm gonna make it different. I wanted to have good size spaces for different things. So I wanted an extra sentiment on the inside, I wanted the pop-up window, and then I wanted the space for someone to write their personal message, and I wanted each one of them to be a good size, a decent size. And I came up with these two ideas. I love how they turned out. I'm so happy that it worked out. It took me a little bit of thinking, a little bit of planning, but it worked out in the end. I hope you like it too. My original pop-up window cards were some of my most popular videos here on YouTube. So I am thinking probably once a month I'm gonna try to come up with a pop-up design that I think it's interesting or it's cute. This is so much fun to make, and the pop-up mechanism, it's actually very simple, very quick and straightforward. So I think skipping the decoration part, it can make the video also very quick and interesting to all of you, hopefully. In the meantime, I messed up the stamping of my inner sentiment, so I stamped it on a separate panel and glued it on top. No one will know except for you. And here's how I assemble my spinning elements. And this is why I had to cut an extra window. I like to turn my string around the adhesive a couple of times, top and bottom, before I sandwich this behind the other window. I already have adhesive, dry adhesive in place on top and bottom to try to hold that string. It wasn't easy because I think I did too many laps and it wasn't holding. It was just coming undone. I fiddled and futzed with it for a little bit, but in the end it worked. The adhesive, it's kind of facing the camera, and I thought it would hold the string very easily, but it didn't. So I had to kind of put it flat on my desk, hold the two ends with my fingers, put some clear glue on, and bring the panel and sandwich everything together. as I said before, I did use clear glue in my spinning element as well, and I'm also using it here so it doesn't warp anything because it's lighter weight. I don't want that. And that fold of my window lines up with the fold from my pop-up mechanism, and you can check it. That's me checking right now, just to make sure that they are folding together and no one will see any of that. No one will notice. This is that frame that I cut earlier. I thought it would look cute, and it ties in with the 2 gold strips that I put on the side. I think it frames everything nicely. Now all I need to do is glue the 2 spaces to the left and the right of my window. No glue behind the window itself, and line it up inside my card base, and that's mainly it. I'm gonna decorate this with loads and loads of flowers. I had a bunch of flowers already die cut, so I'm just gonna use whatever I had in my stash. And the thing about the spinner element is once you have your card completely ready, you already wrote your message and whatnot, then you spin that element, you close the card, and when you open it, the person will see that it spins. I'll show it to you on the screen a little bit. Here I am just lining up some scraps of white paper that I had left from the panels on the inside, using them for dimension. Here you can see me spinning, closing the card. When you open, there you have. And as I said before, decoration for both cards are just suggestions, they're just ideas. Go creative, make it your own, adapt these ideas to suit your needs according to the occasion and the moment or whoever you want to give it to. Personalize the colors that they like, the elements that they like. I know one of the people I'm going to give this to loves butterflies, so and most of us like flowers, so these are safe bets. Now I'll show you the 2 final cards. They were so much fun to make and create, and they look absolutely stunning, completely different from a regular card. And they have that special element of surprise on the inside, both of them. I hope these ideas were useful to you. If they were, please consider subscribing. I have new videos every week. And if you want to see more ideas like these, I have my playlist with pop-up cards linked down below. Happy crafting. Bye.